Magmoor the Lava Demon is a HalloweenCostumes.com 2025 animatronic. This prop is made by SVI, and he was originally sold at Party City during the 2022 Halloween season. Luckily for us, HalloweenCostumes.com has resurrected this beloved character, and you can grab him or anything else on the website for 15% off using my link below. Without any further ado, let's unbox Magmoor the Lava Demon. For everything scary, I'm GMHaunts, and welcome to yet another Halloween 2025 animatronic unboxing, setup, demo, and review video. Now this unboxing is going to be a very special one because the animatronic I am opening up today is one that I've only seen in person in real life 2 times, and one of those times was just within the last week because this is the HalloweenCostumes.com 2025 Magmoor the Lava Demon. I just saw this prop at the HalloweenCostumes.com headquarters within the last week when I just went there to record my content around the 2025 animatronic lineup, and I was super impressed with him that I knew I wanted to get my hands on one, and here he is. I do want to send a big thank you out to Fun.com and Halloween Costumes for sending me this animatronic to review and make a video about to show what the new models look like, and without any further ado, let's crack them open. As you can see, the 2025 box for Magmoor is just the general SVI artwork on the front with the blue color and the stock photo of him. Obviously also the new name being Magmoor and not just the Lava Demon. Not a huge box, which is also very good for storage, but as you can see, SVI artwork. Here we have our very first look inside the box. This is my first time seeing it. I can see the base at the very top, his fog hose for the horns at the top because obviously this guy is compatible with a fog machine. I can see a bunch of his body pieces. Let's take these out. First up, obviously we have the base. This is very simple for an SVI prop, so here's this piece. Here we have the tail for the Lava Demon, and this thing looks really awesome. I honestly completely forgot that it even has a tail, but it is very large, as you can see, and it's sculpted to look like it's made out of lava with a red and black charred paint job. It is plastic, but looks really nice. So here's his tail. Next up, we have the bag with his clothing. Here we have his 2 hooves. Obviously, this guy is meant to be a demon with like goat legs. So these are these pieces. They have a very similar sculpt and paint job to the tail with that red and black. Really nice also. They are plastic, as you can hear, but they look awesome. So here are his hooves. Here we have 2 leg poles for the Lava Demon. We have another 2 leg poles. Here we have the demon's hands, and these things look really cool in person. I love the look of these. Look at the sculpt on there with the long fingernails, the charred sculpt and paint job to make it look like he's made out of lava. These are really nice for a demon animatronic. Again, I've really never looked at this prop like that close up and in depth, so I've never really admired this before, but these look amazing. So here are his hands. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the most important piece for Magmoor, this is his head. And take a look at that. Absolutely awesome. I love the look of Magmoor's head. The sculpt is really cool to begin with. I love the look of his horns and his pointy ears, but the way that teeth looks really stands out. They almost look like candy corn the way they're painted. Really awesome. The eyes look great. I love his nose. Again, just the whole sculpt of this is really nice, and I'm trying to hold it here because it is very big. Of course, we have the corrugated fog hose so that fog can shoot out of his horns, and there's a ton of space for this. I mean, look, it's probably like 6 feet long in the fog hose because it has to go through the entire body, and of course we have the connection to the fog machine as well. But this looks awesome. Here is his head. Obviously, we have the torso piece with the mech and control box. These are the 2 arm poles with styrofoam attached. Here we have the end of his tail, as well as this really weird little pronged piece. I honestly have no idea what this is, but we'll see when we set him up. And then finally, we have his instructions, a fog controller, and his adapter. All right, so we have all the pieces taken out of the box for Magmoor the Lava Demon, and we can now begin the setup. For the very first step, you're gonna lay the base down on a flat surface. You want the bigger empty square space to be facing the front of the animatronic, and now we can attach his very first leg poles that are labeled as B. So you'll just take these, line them up with the base here, and right now, snap lock them in. Next, we'll go ahead and slide on his hooves. It looks like these are the exact same molded piece, so it doesn't matter which one goes on left or right, just like that. Now we'll add on the upper leg poles. Obviously, these are just snap locks. So we'll go on the left and right sides and snap lock these in. Now you can go ahead and open up the clothing bag for Magmoor and take out his giant entire outfit. I don't know what to call it because like it's his whole shirt and pants combo, I guess. It is all one piece. And we're gonna go ahead and drape this over top of the assembly that we've been working on, and you want the poles to stick out at the top. Now we'll attach the main torso with the mech on it. We'll snap lock this right in. It can only go in one way, and obviously you want the speaker to be facing outwards. So we'll go ahead and line this up and snap lock it in. At this point, we'll also go ahead and bring up Magmoor's costume. So bring it over the top of his shoulders, and there are some Velcros on the back so that it gets held up. Now we can start sliding the arms up Magmoor's sleeves. So you'll take the G piece first. Doesn't really matter which one you do actually. I'm just doing the left one first. So G is his left arm. We'll slide this right up through his sleeve, and this is a standard 2-prong fork connection up on the shoulder frame. So you'll line this up and slide it in. Next, we'll slide up the H piece, and this is his right arm. It also looks like this is like a straight arm piece, while the other one is a little bit more bent at the elbow. You probably can bend that around a little bit if you want to pose it because they are just metal wire. Be pretty easy to bend it. So you'll go ahead and put it up his right sleeve and slide the forks right in. Now we can start sliding on his hands. I will be the left hand, and it does look like this is a cotter pin connection. You'll see the cotter pin pre-installed on the hands. So obviously you'll take it out and then reinsert it once the hand is slid on. And at this point, you'll want to make the connection of the wires from the hand to the arm because these do light up. Now we can slide on the right hand, which is piece J. Again, it does have a cotter pin connection, and this one definitely do it because the hand face is pretty far down, and I can already feel just putting it on that it wants to fall off because of how far this is leaning. So definitely make that cotter pin connection and then plug in the wire. At this point, I'm gonna take the very weird prong piece that we saw when we unboxed him, and you're gonna slide this onto the little holder that is on the back side of his mech. As you can see right here, you're gonna slide that right on. Then you can take piece M, which is the first piece of Magmoor's tail, and you're gonna slide that on to the pronged piece, which we just added. Then you can take the last piece, this is the edge of his tail, and this just slides in. As you can see, it is a plastic blow mold, so it does just fit right in. You're gonna slide this in until it doesn't go anymore, and obviously you want it to look like it's all one piece. So you can slide this in until it's fully connected. Now we can get ready to attach the head for Magmoor. So you're gonna take the corrugated fog hose with the connection for the machine, and you can slide this all the way down his body through the hole that's in the top of his shoulder frame. Once you have that in there, you don't want to drop the head. You're gonna take this, and it's gonna be a 2-prong fork connection. So you'll go ahead and line this right up. Obviously you want the fog hose to go all the way down to the bottom so it reaches to a fog machine. Line this up, slide it in. Now you can take the wire from his head. This is also going to go into the body so we can connect this to the control box. For your very last steps of assembly with Magmoor the Lava Demon, for the first thing, obviously you can go ahead and adjust the clothing as you wish, and also tie the black rope around his waist here with the knot in the front. And if you are going to use this guy with a fog machine, you can go ahead and connect your machine to the adapter or the connector, whatever you want to call it, that we drop down his clothing down to his feet. And then you're going to connect the fogger controller that comes with the animatronic to the back of your fog machine so that the programming is synced up with the animatronic. And then finally, you can plug in the adapter and you're good to go. All right, so here he is, my HalloweenCostumes.com 2025 Magmoor the Lava Demon, assembled in all of his glory. But before I give you my thoughts on him, let's take a look at the demos.
You will burn in the fiery pits for an eternity! I'll see you in your dreams. soul is mine! Let me show you the cozy warmth of the underworld's fiery abyss of eternal suffering!
Alright, so you just saw the demos for my HalloweenCostumes.com 2025 Magmoor the Lava Demon, and overall I have to say that I think this guy is one of the best demon animatronics we have ever gotten in retail. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, I've only seen this guy twice in person before until today, and I have to say that seeing one up close in person and actually building one, I was very impressed with the sculpt, the animation, the audio, and the fog capability on Magmoor the Lava Demon. Obviously, we see fog animatronics from time to time, but not always does the animatronic necessarily need that fog capability, and sometimes it just outright doesn't really work for the concept of the character we're seeing. With Magmoor, I love the way the fog looks with this animatronic, with the way it blows out of the horns and can even with the fog hose kind of pool around his legs. It looks really awesome when there's a ton of fog just creeping around him to give it that effect that he's like on fire and from the underworld. This is the perfect character for fog capability, and I am so glad that SVI gave him that. I also really enjoy this guy's audio. He has a lot of different audio tracks, which is awesome. Tons of spoken phrases, including some laugh tracks as well that he doesn't say anything during. And I think the audio and the voice that he has are very fitting with that deep tone. The phrases are also very short. They don't linger on. They're not trying to give you whole paragraphs. They're just about like a sentence each, which is really awesome because obviously if you're gonna use this guy in a haunt or a display, guests are moving by very quickly and you want your animatronic to just get a couple words in and then stop, and this guy is absolutely perfect with his audio. The quality of this prop is also very good. Obviously, he's made by SVI, so very typical SVI build. He's got all plastic pieces for the head, hands, tail, and hooves. Metal base, obviously metal interior build, and then just regular animatronic clothing. Not the thickest thing in the world, but also not the thinnest. It will definitely do. Obviously, this guy is not outdoor rated. He is just indoor rated, but still the quality was pretty impressive, and I don't really see anything breaking on him. My only minor issue with this prop, and this is an easy fix if you do end up picking him up, would be the clothing that's sort of around his neck, because as you can see, it does very easily get kind of pulled down, and you can see the plastic of his shoulder form. Very easy fix. You can just throw a safety pin in there and kind of pin it up to the top so that it stays around his neck. Very easy fix. I did just think I would point that out. But other than that, everything fits very well, including around the legs. As you can see, the poles do get covered up, which is awesome, and you really cannot see into the styrofoam on his arms either. So I love the fact that his clothing really fits the body well. But overall, I think this guy is great, and like I said, he's definitely one of my favorite demon animatronics that we've ever gotten in retail. And demons are a very few and far between character, which I understand not every retail company wants to dabble in demon or devil style animatronics because that's not something the community always loves. I personally really enjoy these types of characters. I think they're frightening, and I love when we get big demon devil props like this one. And as I said, I think this guy is one of the best examples of that, especially with the fog capability that he features. This guy is just an all-around really great sounding, looking, and fogging prop that I would highly recommend to anyone looking to build an underworld or hell display for the Halloween 2025 season. And as I said at the beginning of the video, if you would like to pick this guy up, you can use the link in my description to get 15% off, which makes him a very great deal. Along with anything else on the website, you can get 15% off using the link in the description. I want to send a huge thank you out to fun.com and halloweencostumes.com for sending me Magmoor the Lava Demon to make a review about. As I said, very happy with this prop, and I would definitely recommend him for anyone looking to get a brand new demon. But I guess, remember as always, for everything scary, I'm GMHaunts. I'll see you guys later for more Halloween 2025 animatronic unboxings. Goodbye.